meeting of the Gadsden City Council will now come to order, and the chair calls on City Clerk Ivan Nelson for the roll call.
Councilman Harris.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
Avery.
Here.
Eccles.
Here.
Stewart.
Here.
Cannon.
Here.
Reed.
Here.
We have a quorum present. The meeting is open for business. I'm going to ask David Lawson to lead the invocation. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Lord, we're thankful again that you've allowed us to see another day. We ask that our minds and our hearts be focused on what it is that you would have us to do that is pleasing in your sight. We ask that your hands be involved in all decisions made at the local, state, and federal level. We ask that you continue to watch over our troops, and we ask that you give comfort to families who have lost loved ones as we continue to see the fight against all who would oppose us. And we will be ever grateful and thankful to give you the glory in the name of your Son, Jesus. These things we ask. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of a work session and a city council meeting held on October the 16th.
So moved.
Second. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to approve minutes.
Chair will entertain a motion to ratify payment of the accounts for the week of October the 12th through the 18th.
So moved.
Second. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to ratify payment of the accounts.
Proclamations, Mayor.
Yes, sir, I have two. Let's see, anyone here from Cusamana, Keener, Roberts, Knowles, and Raleigh?
I'm actually here on behalf of
Okay.
Raleigh, yes.
And I had you down, Donald Ray, the bar commissioner, will be present to accept it. Good deal. Come right on up.
How are you, sir?
Whereas last year, 1 in every 4 of the 821,268 Alabamians living in poverty experienced legal problems, with the majority of these civil problems being consumer issues, credit harassment, utility non-payment, bankruptcy issues, health issues, Medicaid, government insurance, nursing home, family law issues, divorce, child support, custody, abuse, employment issues, unemployment benefits, pensions, lost jobs, housing issues, unsatisfactory repairs, foreclosure, eviction, and poor living conditions. Whereas 24.9% of the citizens in Gadsden live in poverty. Each year, the low-income citizens of Gadsden lack access to legal assistance for their legal problems that are often critical to their safety and independence, forcing them to resolve complex legal problems on their own. The need for legal aid in Alabama is dire, since unlike in the criminal defense system, funding for low-income Alabamians who need civil legal assistance has not yet been met, with the consequences being a lack of access to justice, which is devastating for the poor and which weakens our democratic society as a whole. There are fewer than 60 paid legal aid lawyers to serve more than 422,119 low-income households in the state of Alabama. Although 24% of the members of the Etowah County legal community donated their time and talents in free legal services last year, a huge unmet need for legal assistance remains for the disadvantaged in our area. The state of Alabama continues to be impacted by the lingering national recession and high unemployment, which results in significant budget cuts to numerous state programs and services, such indigent defense and state agencies such as the judicial system. As a result of these events and the continued needs of Alabama residents, the demand for pro bono services by members of the Alabama State Bar has never been greater. Sponsored by the Alabama State Bar and its Pro Bono Celebration Task Force, with support from local bar associations statewide, Pro Bono Week 2012 from October 21st to 27th, 2012, will educate the public about the extensive work Alabama lawyers are doing, donating their time to improve the lives of vulnerable members of our community, and will encourage more individuals in the legal community to get involved in pro bono work and financially support the legal aid system. Pro Bono Week 2012 will feature legal aid clinics throughout the state, assisting Alabamians who greatly need legal assistance but cannot afford to pay for that help, and will feature legal aid clinics throughout the state, assisting Alabamians who greatly need legal assistance but cannot afford to pay for that help, and will also feature service projects throughout the state of Alabama, helping lawyers and law students make volunteer connections with legal aid organizations serving Alabamians. Therefore, be it resolved, I, Sherman Guyton, the Mayor of the City of Gadsden, do hereby proclaim October 21st through the 27th, 2012, to be Pro Bono Week, and urge all Gadsden residents to recognize the contribution of our legal community to helping those with the most needs.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor Guyton and Mr. Chairman and members of the council. Thank you for this recognition. The Alabama State Bar over the last couple of years, really about the last 4 years, has really made it a point of emphasis to make legal representation accessible to those in our community or in our state who really most need it and cannot afford it. Oftentimes, as the proclamation indicates, those with the least resources have the most need, especially in civil matters, issues with the government or with their community or with their neighborhood. And many attorneys over the past couple of years have gotten on the, shall we say, the pro bono bandwagon. And there is a telephone number that a citizen who needs the assistance of a lawyer, just simply can't afford one, can call, and they will be put into contact with a local attorney. And we have many attorneys in Etowah County who are actively participating in this effort. And thank you again for this proclamation. We do appreciate it. Thank you. Very good.
I also have one, Ms. Sheila Hurley and Phyllis Brooks from the CED Mental Health Board. Whereas the City of Gadsden values the health and safety of all our citizens, and whereas substance abuse is particularly damaging to one of our most valuable resources, our children, and a contributing factor in 3 leading causes of death for teenagers: accidents, homicides, and suicides. It is the goal of Red Ribbon Week and the City of Gadsden to involve families, school, businesses, churches, law enforcement agencies, and service organizations in all aspects of this campaign, and establish an atmosphere that supports awareness, education, and ongoing initiatives to prevent illegal drug use. The Red Ribbon Week campaign theme promotes family and individual responsibilities for living healthy, drug-free lifestyles without illegal drugs or the illegal use of legal drugs. There are many activities planned during Red Ribbon Week campaign in the City of Gadsden. Therefore, be it resolved, I, Sherman Guyton, the Mayor of the City of Gadsden, proclaim October 22nd through the 30th, 2012, as Red Ribbon Week. I have a speech impediment there, I'm sorry. In the City of Gadsden, and that's all those to pay attention and see what we can do to help.
Phyllis and I really appreciate all your support, and the staff really appreciate. You know, we're a treatment facility or community mental health center, but much of what we do is prevention. The reason you don't have our prevention staff here today is because they're in South Alabama training some folks in South Alabama about prevention and mental health, and we really do appreciate all your support in all our activities. Thank you.
Most of CED's people that they serve live in the city of Gadsden, and someday we're going to start financing their program somewhat, aren't we?
Yeah, I think you're probably...
Sheila, I'm still plugging. We're going to get some money.
I was about to speak of that. Thank you. That plug.
One day. Bill, I think you're probably right. That one day's coming soon, as soon as I move back from Atala to Gadsden.
Well, they still serve Gadsden.
I know, I'm just going on at you.
Unfinished business. Resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 425 Broad Street in District 3, owned by Sarah Moss. This resolution was tabled for 30 days on September the 18th. What is the pleasure of the council?
Based on the recommendation of the building department, make a motion we approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
9 is a resolution accepting conveyance of property at 1202 Kentucky Avenue, which is in District 4. Joe Courtney Cole has offered to donate this property to the city due to difficulties in maintaining it. Chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
10 is a resolution authorizing amendment to lease agreement with Gadsden State Community College. This extends the current lease agreement for soccer fields in adjacent areas on the campus until December the 31st, 2012. Chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
I was going to say, I can comment a little bit on that if you want me to.
Okay.
We have a lease on the soccer fields now with Gadsden State, and they had come to us and asked us with their new entrance about helping fund the red light intersection, which is going to be pretty expensive. And we asked that if they have 17 acres there adjoining the soccer fields, that we could take that property and lease it as well, cut the trees down and build as many soccer fields as we can if they would let us lease it like we did the other. I think it's $1 a year. So we're sort of going back and forth trying to work out the fine details on that, and hopefully we get that worked out and we can really eventually have a really big soccer complex over there if everything works.
We need them.
I know.
11 is a resolution.
Vote.
We got a vote.
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
11 is a resolution authorizing agreement with the State of Alabama Emergency Management Agency. This is for hazard mitigation grant number 1971529, which is to be used for 17 individual safe rooms. Chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, you take the vote.
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
12 is a resolution authorizing agreement with American Bass Anglers. This is to sponsor a fishing tournament to be held September the 29th through October the 5th, 2013. The amount is $5,000. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
13 is a resolution authorizing an agreement with FLW LLC. This is to sponsor a fishing tournament on June 15, 2013, in the amount of $1,000. Chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, you take the vote.
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
New business, is there any new business?
Yes, Mr. President, I have one. I'd like to ask for unanimous consent, please. It's a resolution authorizing agreement with WM Logistics LLC, please.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
I'll move for adoption, please.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. President, this is an agreement with this WM Logistics Corporation. They're going to come in and reevaluate our garbage routes and see what we can do with our garbage routes. We've lost a bunch of houses due to Coosa Town Center being built and Gadsden City High School being built, and just vacant houses that we have here in the city of Gadsden. And I think this is probably long overdue that we try to get our garbage routes back in line. We actually have a off day, which is Wednesday, that the garbage trucks don't run. They just pick up, actually, there's a truck that picks up pullouts and stuff like that. And I think right now they're actually doing pullouts. Some of the drivers are trying to do pullouts as they go now. So I think we're going to get in line and see what trucks we can do away with. If we need the manpower, we do what we have now. And so we can't do to better service our citizens of Gadsden. They pay for the garbage fee every month or every 3 months, and I think they deserve better service than what we've been giving them.
Mr. President, another point to make as it relates to this is this expense will also realize a return at some level. Once we become more efficient as it relates to those routes, then we may realize a return on what we're spending now to actually deliver that service.
You know, my theory is that diesel fuel is going up. I know it's pretty high right now, and we've got manpower we're out there using. I think we can better service the citizens of Gadsden if we just take a look at this and do what this company says we need to do.
Well, I can't pass up the grease. We still taking grease at Fleet where our trucks and all are for diesel. They're using it just as fast as we get it. You get the containers at the rec centers and several places, or you can go to Fleet and get it. So we'll take your hamburger French fry grease and we're converting it. We have a machine, and it's working really well. We use it a lot. So anybody wants to get rid of some grease, get you a couple of containers and bring it to us.
Did we ever start working on businesses, restaurants, fast food places?
Some of them, most of them, I think that we tried to work with had outside contracts with a company that comes in and does that. But it's been going good. They've been Fleet. They get a lot from households. But yeah, that'd be even better. Yeah.
I was just hoping that they would, when their contract ends, that they would look at contracting with the city since.
Right. I know.
But anyway.
What are the drop-off points for those people that
I think it's any of the rec centers or down at Fleet there on Chestnut, down from Forest Cemetery.
Rec centers?
I think so. They have the containers.
They have the containers at all the rec centers, I think.
All right.
We've actually got a container at some business I was by the other day, and I looked back at a 55-gallon drum, had the city of Gadsden on it. They was actually putting the grease in that.
Yeah, we might.
I can't remember where that was.
They're
but
getting
somewhere.
plenty, and they're using every bit of it too, which is really a big help. Fuel.
Okay, is there any other discussion?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Any other new business?
Yes, Mr. President, I have one item that I'd like to ask for unanimous consent to consider today. It's a resolution authorizing public hearing notice on amending the city code for flood control regulations.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
Move for passage.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. Based on a recommendation by FEMA, we are issuing this resolution to bring the city flood code control regulations in line with the federal standard. So this is, again, one of those many, many efforts that we engage in from time to time to get more in line with the federal standard.
Any other discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Is there any other new business?
Yes, Mr. President, I have a resolution I would like to ask for unanimous consent to consider today. The resolution authorizing agreement with Bass Federation Incorporated to sponsor the Student Anglers Federation Alabama High School State Championship in the amount of $3,000.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. President, this is, I think my understanding is that this is the first time that we would have been co-sponsors of a high school state championship anglers, student anglers. So we've done it for the colleges and universities, but this will be the first time for high schools.
Any other discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Any other new business? Department reports, committees, are they? Remarks by the mayor and the council. Ben, you want to start?
Sure. I was out of town last week. I don't know whether anybody noticed or not, but I was.
We didn't notice.
I was. And my telephone failed at home, which canceled out my burglar alarm system. And thank goodness I called back to the chief, and the police department took real good care of me in that respect to check my house, to make sure that my guns were safe. And on the second part, then I drowned my iPhone in a riptide. And it pretty well put me out of communication, which made Jenny and I were extremely happy, but they did come to fore and got me an iPhone and kept me in touch through relay, right, Jenny? I don't understand all that stuff, but they relayed all this absolutely important information that was going on while I was gone. But anyway, I did want to let y'all know I appreciate it, Lee, the way you're looking at me, you know, you agree with me totally. Today is my wife Barbara's birthday, and that I will be serious about since I forgot to buy her a card. So happy birthday to my wife. That's all I have.
Ben found out that the Apple iPhone will swim. Maybe some of the other brands might.
Did you ever see a full-grown man in a riptide trying to catch an iPhone? It was horrible.
It was pretty quiet last week. I didn't realize what was the effect of that.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do want to remind everybody about the treats on Wall Street. It'll be Thursday the 25th from 5 to 7. Bring all your children out. Come out there to be a good time. We've got inflatables going to be out there. There's be face painting, all kind of candy. I talked to a group yesterday, I think it was, and said they'd bought over $300 worth of candy for the kids. That's just one person, so there should be a lot of candy out there for all the people. And I just want to thank Randy Gladden and his crew that went down on Hickory Street a week or so ago, and they got a ditch down there for our neighbor down there that really needed that grass cut on Hickory. Randy and them does a good job, and I want to brag on them. And I do want to touch base again on the garbage, what we did a while ago, and we got this company to come in here and revamp our garbage routes and tell us what we need to do and the manpower we need. I need people to just be patient with us right now. I talked to the director last week, and he said we had young drivers on the garbage routes, and they are missing garbage. You know, they don't know the routes completely, but if you'll take this number down, it's 256-549-4703 or 549-4545, I think it is. If you'll just call that number and talk to the secretaries out there, they'll make sure your garbage is picked up until we get this problem handled. That number is 256-549-4703, and just ask for the lady, whoever you're talking to, just ask for her and get her name so you know who you talk with about it, and we'll get your garbage picked up. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything other than, I know we're all enjoying the beautiful fall colors and the leaves this time of year, and just remember that that beautiful leaf, you're looking at it when it falls and hits on the ground, it's still the same beautiful leaf. But we will get them up like we always do, so be patient on the leaf pickup. It'll all happen.
Truck out today.
Pardon?
I noticed a leaf truck out.
Yeah, it's beginning. That's all I've got.
You mean we got leaves falling? As a matter of fact, that was one of the discussions at my district meeting this past Saturday about leaves. And I did ask the people who were there to pass the word around, and I'll say it publicly now, that we're going to ask the people in District 3 if they would start bagging their leaves. We're going to do a pilot program since the city won't do one themselves. We're going to ask everybody to start bagging their leaves, and let's see how efficient we can get leaves picked up in our district. You know, he saw a leaf truck that probably cost about $100,000 and some out there today. It'd be broke down tomorrow. But we can do pickup trucks. If people put them in bags, we can send our pickup trucks out there. Johnny got one, a couple other, I think Bill has one, and we can just pick up leaves. And hopefully one of these days, this council is going to get around to bagging. And instead of spending $100,000 and some on a leaf truck, we can spend about $30,000 on bags and
furnish everybody in the city plenty of bags to pick up the leaves. But anyway, that's another story.
Robert, can I say something right there?
Sure, go ahead.
I have a truck that's 7 years old that looks like a truck, but it's not used as a truck.
Oh, okay. I just know we got a lot of pickup trucks around that we can pick leaves up if they have them in bags.
My deal is if it works out in your district, just come on over in mine and you happy to pick them up there too.
Well, I mean, we don't mind picking them up for a fee. I mean, you know, it's not a problem. We'll take care of that. But seriously though, you know, when you start talking about the leaf seasons coming up and then we did something a few minutes ago about flooding, when you put the leaves out on the curb, if we don't get them up right away and it rains, it washes them down in the sewer lines and it stops the sewer lines up, we get the flooding. And it's a serious situation. If we could just ask people to voluntarily, since the council won't pass an ordinance, to bag their leaves when they can, it would be highly appreciated. And it could stop a lot of other problems for us. But again, I just know that the leaves are falling. That's all.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. Just have a couple things. I had an opportunity this past Friday to attend the Gadsden City High School homecoming. Good event. Do want to take this opportunity to one, congratulate the team on winning homecoming, and secondly to recognize the students, the seniors in particular. As it stands, I think this is the second year in a row that they've engaged in in what I consider a very humane and meaningful gesture, in that they've voted in the homecoming queen, and there's some significance behind the vote. This young lady earlier in the year, I think, lost her father, who died very young, and they recognized her as the homecoming queen. So, for those of us that at some level may have lost faith in our young people, they still do some incredible things to make us say, wow, they're getting it. So again, I do want to thank those young people for that. Also, just want to remind everybody that that October, again, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we've got 8 days left. So there are a couple opportunities that we have as individuals, both to wear pink and walk the talk. And by that I mean put your money where your mouth is, support some of these efforts, and make sure that we are supporting the cause to fight a very horrible disease. That's all I have.
Mayor?
I don't have anything.
You save the best for last.
I give my time to Billy.
Okay.
I yield my time to Johnny.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Bring it on.
Is that it?
That's it. I yield my time to Johnny.
We got a motion to adjourn.
All right.
So moved.
They adjourned.